Welcome to Coffee with Cohee. In today's pod, why transition networks? Joining me on the pod today, he's a California boy, Northern California that is, a history buff, was going to be a teacher, but got wooed by the tech boom. Coffee with Cohee was his first podcast that he listened to, and now he's a guest. The dream has happened. None other than Mr. James Powell. James, welcome to the podcast, sir.
Mark, thanks for having me, man. Like you said, the dream has come to life. Fantastic. I've been looking forward to being a guest on your fantastic podcast for months now. So thank you, sir, for having me.
Well, man, I am excited that Transition Networks is finally part of the HWP family. I met James a couple years ago, just happen chance walking into a customer, and I just mentioned to people, hey, we got to work with these guys. So, man, let's just start from the beginning. Transition Networks, who are you guys?
Yeah, we've been in business about 35 years now. We're based in Minnetonka, Minnesota. For the geography buffs out there, that's a sleepy little suburb west of Minneapolis, right on the edge of the prairie. At our headquarters sits our engineering, customer service, all of our tech support assets, that kind of thing. We have been at this with media conversion since day one. Any kind of copper to fiber conversion you can think of, we certainly got a box for that. Over the last several years, our product line has expanded, and we've really focused in on offering PoE solutions specifically to our partners in the security integration market.
All right, so the who was just a little warm-up question. Let's be honest. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, the why Transition Networks. And I joked with James because when we did this, he did this presentation some time ago. He kind of sounded like a Baptist preacher. He's got his 3 Ps, the alliteration, the people, the partnership, and the products. Man, tell me a little more about that and why that makes Transition Networks so special.
Yeah, hopefully, like any other Baptist preacher, you can believe the message that you're pushing along, and it just makes it resonate even that much further for your audience. And I certainly do when I talk about the value proposition at Transition Networks. When I try to answer that question about why transition, as you alluded to, it's people, partnership, and product. Partly so that it help keep me organized, but when I'm talking about people, first and foremost, I'm talking about best-in-class customer service. This has been a part of Transition's company culture since their early days. How can we treat our customers so that they continue to be our customers? And that idea has really moved us along over these 30 years. You talk to guys in the industry, you go to a Bixie, and we've been at Bixie, I think, over 40 times, right? So you go there and people are seeking us out, and these guys have been using our equipment since the very beginning. They've been there with us, and that speaks to our customer care, I believe.
So your customer service, you guys don't really treat people just as customers. It's more like family.
Certainly. I think that we have long-term relationships, deep connections. So yeah, family. Yeah, absolutely.
And just like family, we fight, but we kiss and make up at the end.
That's
so
it.
Let's go a little deeper into the people. It's not just customer service, right? There's a whole team supporting customers out there in the field.
Right. So critically important to our customers in the field is our technical support. So we have 24/7 tech support based in Minnesota. This is going to be core your mic. You call, one of those guys answers, and we're diving into the problem with you. It doesn't matter if it's, Saturday night and you're out on site and there's something wrong and you need some help. Our guys are there to help you out. Beyond Corey and Mike, we also have a team of sales engineers. These guys are really, our boots on the ground, the bigger projects, pre-sales design, any kind of technical support on a deeper level, configuration, helping to solve questions around networking. That's where these guys get deployed and really help us, bring that customer support to the next level. I would also be selling our team short if I didn't, shout out our inside sales desk who sits up there. These are the ones that are processing our quotes, answering questions around availability. Also fantastic from a technical perspective. Everybody in the transition family has been there for years and years. I'm going on 4 years with the company. I'm one of the new guys. Yeah.
Well, let's not sell you short. You're the piece de resistance, the glue that holds it all together, the regional sales manager.
Right. So we have a team of RSMs, regional sales managers, spread across North America. And we also have an international team. I represent the Southeast team. So for us, that means the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, and Tennessee. And part of the reason we're so happy to be partnered with HWP is to allow us to, spread the gospel, as it were, throughout that territory more effectively.
Testify. All right. I think I'm going to get in trouble for this podcast today, but we'll be okay. So we got that people spot just nailed. I mean, it's just, at least from the interactions I've had, the people are phenomenal. Let's talk a little bit about partnership. When you guys say partnership, what are you talking about there?
Yeah, so for us, partnership is meaning that with our customers, we want to be more than just a transactional relationship, right? We sell a product that you can find in other locations all over the internet. It's a competitive field. I get that. There's a lot of our competitors are building comparable boxes, but we hope to grow business together, to win deals together, and to build long-term relationships together. So the way that we try to go to market is to understand, our partners' specific needs, more personally. Also, as a manufacturer, we'd like to try to engage integrators to help us with end user customers and really be mindful of the fact that we're an ecosystem play. When you think about a security network, I might think that the switch is the most important, but there's access control, there's cameras, there's cable, there's a lot of moving parts. And if you take out one, you've got a problem. So I think that they're all, equally important, and we try to keep that in mind and partner.
The hardest thing I find is getting product crossed, man. Hey, I've got this brand switch. What's the transition equivalent? What's the transition part number? How do you guys handle that?
Yeah. So again, this goes back to our people and kind of our high touch availability. So whether it's inside sales, who's fantastic and incredibly responsive, Mike or Corey on the tech support desk, Glenn, Dennis, or Kevin, one of our sales engineers, or myself, or any of my RSM counterparts, you've got a guy for that. We don't want you combing through data sheets trying to figure out which is which. We want you to say, hey, I've got a project. This is my need. And let us do all the heavy lifting. Let us figure out what the part number is and just make your job easier.
And here's the big one that customers always ask me about. I've got a project. I want to specify transition networks. How can you guys help me there?
Certainly. So when it comes to that, I mean, obviously, the part numbers are critically important, but also how, these part numbers are working within the network. What is the overall kind of overarching goal? And that's, I think, where our sales engineering team really can step in and make sure that, this switch is going to fit well within this network and all the capabilities and requirements of the project are met. So I would certainly, at the specifying level, encourage all of our customers to engage with our sales engineering team to drive spec.
And then also engage with HWP and with James, because maybe we can help you out on a price standpoint, on a project registration, to make sure not only that you're preaching about transition networks, but let's protect you. Let's make sure you're protected so no one else can come in and take a job from you, because there's nothing worse than that.
Right.
Well, man, we've hit people, we've hit partnership. That leaves product.
Right.
What's so special about Transition Networks product?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, we've been building these boxes for over 30 years. The entire time that we've been manufacturing media converters and our switching equipment, all of our commercial gear has had a lifetime warranty. Now, Mark, there's a math problem built in there somewhere. As you mentioned earlier, I'm a history guy, not a mathematician, but I think it speaks to the quality of our product. That's something we can certainly stand on. So lifetime warranty on all of our commercial equipment, I think, is certainly a differentiator in the market. We've got a 5-year warranty on our industrial equipment. So there's that. Having been at this media conversion and switching game for so long, if you've got any kind of copper to fiber connection that you need to make, I'm very confident that we've got a box for that, and we can certainly help out with determining what part number makes sense. Over the last several years, though, we've really broadened our product portfolio and have focused in on PoE solutions. Whether we're talking about security networks or building automation, from access control to automated HVAC to PoE lighting, we really see this low voltage PoE segment as a growing segment, and we've tried to step in there. The DNA of our company is in engineering, so all of our equipment is built to a standard. So when we're talking about PoE, we're running our PoE++ at the 802.3 BT spec. IEEE is determining everything that we do. So our product is built to standards, it's built to last, and we've got a wide breadth of product. So PoE solutions from 1 to 48 ports and everything in between. That's
not just PoE, guys. PoE, PoE plus, and my favorite, PoE++.
Right.
Who came up with that nomenclature?
Right.
If we get any bigger, is it PoE+++? I mean,
right.
Come on.
They kind of painted themselves into a corner with that one, right? I think PoE++ is the edge of any rational understanding of how much power it might.
PoE++ infinity. Is that where we're heading next? Bless their hearts. They need some marketing folks.
Yeah.
I had a question and it has left me.
Well, let me ask something here then, Mark, sure. if you don't mind. When we're talking about product, I think it's important to talk about differentiation. So we've talked about, this wide breadth. Yeah, we get that. Great, you've got all the media converters that you could ever think of. You got all the PoE variants. But we've also, in conversation with our integrator partners specifically, we went out to them and said, hey, talk to us about your business. How can we use our equipment to make your life easier? That might be a stretch, but certainly how can we help to impact your operational expenses and your CapEx with our equipment? And one of the things that we came up with is what we call DMS, or our device management system. This is our management software that lives on all of our smart managed equipment. This gives you the ability to monitor, manage, and maintain networks remotely. So just kind of to dive in that a little deeper, one feature we really like to talk about is called auto power reset. This is proactive monitoring of the network. So, you go out there, you hang a bunch of cameras. Maybe one of these cameras is above a, POS station in a retail build, or maybe it's at a, back door, where you want to make sure that you have security at all times. We can help to maintain an always-on connection using auto power reset by simply sending a ping to that camera. And if for some reason that camera didn't respond, we'll take down the power at the port level, bringing it right back up. This effectively power cycles the device. Now, to take a step back from that, just think about, when you're at home and you have a horrible Zoom connection. The first thing that you got to go do is unplug your router and plug it back in, right? All electronics are operating on that same thing. You know, if you call Comcast, they're going to say, well, have you unplugged it and plugged it back in, right? In the security integration space, if you have to unplug the camera and plug it back in, that's what we call a truck roll. You know, that's billable, you know, that's problematic in a lot of different ways. So auto power reset is designed to prevent truck rolls, or at least make those intelligent truck rolls. So, you know, the switch will power down the port, bring it back up, send a trap, an SNMP out to the customer to say, hey, this camera was down. We rebooted it. Now it's back online. Or it may say, hey, we've tried to reboot this camera dozens of times and it's not. Now you still have to roll that truck, but bring a camera, bring a power supply. It's an intelligent truck roll. So these are some of the features that we've tried to add to our product to build value and to really resonate with our customers on a deeper level.
Now, the next question that is on everybody's mind, and it's been huge with this NDAA and TAA compliance and all that, where is Transition Networks product made?
Yeah, so we are made in the USA. We are also made in Taiwan. What that allows for us is to be TAA and NDAA compliant. A large portion of our annual revenue comes from our fantastic federal team. As we all know, to be in any of those kind of networks, you certainly have to be TAA and or NDAA compliant. And the overwhelming majority, you know, upwards of 97% of our part numbers meet that threshold. So, you know, certainly we will check that box for you.
Awesome. Now, if we've done our job and we got somebody that is excited about Transition Networks and they're ready to purchase, how do you guys go to market? What's the channel that you use?
Yeah. So since the beginning, we've been a, you know, distribution channel. So we partner with all of the major distributors out there. You know, your Tech Datas and Ingrams, ScanSource, Annixter, Graybar, CSC, ADI, Accutech. So all of the distributors who are focused in that same space that we are in, very easy to find our product. Not only do we have long-term, strong relationships with them, but many stock our equipment, which is incredibly important, right? When you're on a project and you need the gear now, it's great if you can get it local. And we have those kind of relationships in the distribution channel.
Awesome. And, you know, I love that. It makes it so clean. You know, hey, you want to buy product? It's not a direct thing, distribution, you know, so that just is, I appreciate that. So often the waters are muddied. Well, this guy's direct and this guy buys through distribution. And, you know, it just, you guys are great at marketing product, making product. Distribution's great at shipping product and collecting money. Right. You know, and it makes it easy. Everybody does their part. Where does HWP come in? That's a great question. No, I'm just kidding. The answer is we're just an extension of James. You know, there's only one James and he's got 7 states to cover. So we've got 8 guys covering 7 states. So we can get you the right people in front of, or, hey, we need a demo product. Man, we can make that happen. There's so many things we can do to get you to check out and try Transition Networks. The sky's the limit. Well, man, have we missed anything with regards to transition?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, just reiterating how excited we are to be partnered with HWP. I mean, your expertise and industry experience, you know, I'm just looking forward to a fantastic 2021.
Me too. And speaking of transitions, let's transition to my favorite part, Cohee's 14 fun questions. Why 14? Because that's how many I wrote down. So James, are you ready for the hot seat? You've listened to these, but now you get hit by them.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First question. How long have you been in the security industry?
Going on 4 years.
How did you get in the industry?
So I had some manufacturing background, and I relocated to beautiful Minnesota and was on the job hunt and got linked up with Transition Networks. And that was my introduction. If I'm being honest, it took about 60 days before I actually knew what a media converter was. But I certainly know now.
So, you said earlier you were a history buff and a history major. So did you just say, I don't want to be a history teacher because I wanted to make money, or?
That's about the long and short of it right there. That's it. I graduated from school. I had some student loans, and that first sales job that I got offered in tech was about double what a history teacher was going to be making. So I told you I'm not a math guy, but that was a pretty easy one to solve.
I can do easy math, like double. That's a good one. That's a good one. What city were you born in?
I was born in Los Angeles, raised in San Luis Obispo, California. So for the geography buffs out there, it's right in the middle of California, south of San Francisco.
Okay.
North of Los Angeles.
Favorite city to travel to?
What a great question. I love Vegas. Vegas is great. That's going to probably be right around the top of my list. Vegas is fantastic.
Oh, there's so much to do. The people watch it is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a totally different town when you're not there for work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. When you're there for work, after 3 days of the Strip, you've had enough.
Right.
But when you can just go there and have some fun, it's a good time. Favorite food?
I'm a fan of Southern cuisine. I am certainly a fan of Southern cuisine. I would have to say that's my favorite food.
All right. Favorite restaurant?
Well, I live in Raleigh now. I'm relatively new to the area, and part of being new to an area is checking out cool new restaurants. One I've gone to recently, I don't know if I'll call it favorite, but a great one I've been to recently in downtown Raleigh is called Humble Pie.
Nice. All right. All right. Other than the profession you're doing now, what profession would you like to try?
I think being a head basketball coach at an ACC school would be fantastic.
Look, I'm coaching a 3rd through 5th grade boys basketball team. It's interesting. I have a feeling college is the same, just bigger kids, and they still don't listen to you. So,
right. It's a little easier to get them in line than the 3rd graders, though, when they're grown up. I have a background in high school and college coaching. So, I've coached my fair share of like 5 to 8-year-olds as well. So I can certainly understand your struggle there.
Too funny.
Get them to line up and stop touching each other.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Hey, stop waving at your mom. Let's play basketball.
All right.
What profession would you hate?
Well, I think accounting is something I'd hate. I have friends that are in that business, and just going down the Excel rabbit hole all day long just doesn't seem like my thing.
Oh, you say Excel and I just start to shiver. Yikes. What's your favorite word?
I believe I say fantastic quite often. And if you run back the tape here, we might be able to verify that.
Oh, now you're showing your age with run back the tape. Holy cow. What's your least favorite word?
There's 2 words that I try to stay away from best I can. That's always and never.
Oh, interesting. All right. When you're not working, what can we find you doing?
Well, I'm a bit of a homebody. When I'm not working, I'm spending time with my beautiful wife. I think I've been married for about 12 days now. So that's where we're at. We like to play tennis together. That's a new thing. try to stay as active as I can. So that's how I'm feeling my days.
To be married and have no kids. I forgot what that was like. Well, this is great. It moves right into my next question. What's your favorite sport?
Basketball. Has been forever, and I'm sure will always be.
All right. I'm going to make you the sports czar of basketball, and you can change one thing about the sport. What would it be?
I think it's pretty solid right now. I definitely like the game. If I could change anything, it's kind of nuanced, but I would allow them to get a little bit more physical on defense. Maybe a throwback to the late 80s, 90s. Think like Big East, Eastern Conference, NBA. Like we can't even hand check a guy now. So we're scoring 160.
The old hand on the hip. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Bring that, at least the forearm. Let me put the
Right.
forearm on you.
Right.
I would have also accepted get rid of the Euro step. I can't stand it. It looks like traveling. Quit it.
Right. It is a little mind blowing that it's not a travel.
It's like watching James Harden take 7 steps to shoot a 3-pointer. How is that not traveling?
Right. I want that to be a travel every time. I even in slow mo, you're like, wait, that's still a travel.
It's so much fun when you're coaching those 5th graders and they go, James Harden did it. All right, whatever.
Right.
All right, last question. Thank God. If heaven exists, what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, well, welcome would be great. Come on in. That would be, you made it.
As for me, James, I want to hear him say, that'll do, pig. That'll do. And as for this podcast, that'll do, James. That'll do. So, hey, man, if somebody wants to contact you about Transition Networks, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, just shoot me a quick note at james.powell@transition.com. And I will be right back to you. I'm just not comfortable enough to throw my cell phone out on Coffee with Cohee yet, but you email me, I'll call you.
Tens of people will hear it and call you.
All it takes is the wrong one.
Also check out HWPco.com. Reach out to any of us at HWP. We'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Well, man, as for me, thank you, James. That was great. I'm out of coffee. So until next time, I'll take mine with cream and sugar. Thanks for checking out the podcast today. Special thanks to James Powell with Transition Networks. Man, if you don't know James, great guy. Definitely reach out to him and get to know him. And if you like the podcast, give us 5 stars. If you don't like the podcast, give us 5 stars anyway, because you're good people. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like us to talk about, or what topics we should cover, or who we should interview. You can always reach out to us at coffeewithcohee@hwpco.com. Thanks and have a great day.